So, what makes this class so good is that emphasis on the breath and relaxation because that is the key. It's the key to health is being able to relax and slow down. And it's the key to shifting into the parasympathetic nervous system. It's the key to reducing inflammation in the body. I mean, it's so important. So, that said, you can sit upright if that is a piece of cake for you and you don't feel any muscles tightening up and you don't feel any discomfort. But the majority of us, especially if we have back issues, we're going to want to lie down on our backs in passive rest pose. And passive rest pose can be done a couple of ways. Remember as we go along that this practice is for you and your unique body. So you never have to do anything the way that I say. Keep feeling it out and listen to yourself first. So passive rest, heels are under the knees, feet are hip width apart. There's a lengthening in the back of the neck. And then we're asking our hips, where the thigh comes into our hips, we're asking that to sink and release. The hip creases, we're asking to soften. If you feel like this is very hard to keep your knees just floating in space like that, then you can walk your feet out an inch or so and then tip your knees in slightly. And that can be just enough to make it easier to feel that release. For tight shoulders, you can place your hands on your chest. If you're feeling like there's a lot going on, sometimes it's nice to put the hands on the belly. It can be quite soothing and a place for you to have access to your breath. Arms can always be alongside the body. Or I know some students find this pose so helpful for their shoulders that they immediately go into cactus arms, where the elbows are in line with the shoulders and the hands are like goalposts. As long as your arm and hands are on the floor, it's fine. If not, you're going to open your arms out wider until the whole arm is on the floor. And then closing the eyes once you've found the position that works for your body. And locating your breath. Ask your breath to slowly deepen. In and out through the nose. Feel the belly soften. As you fill the belly, then the mid chest, so the ribs expand out in all directions. The upper chest fills around the collarbone and gently lifts. It's a very expansive inhale. And then exhale, squeeze it out part by part, whichever feels more natural. When we breathe this way, it really helps us to elongate the breath because we make sure we fill each part of the body before we move on to the next. And then we make sure we empty each part of the body before we move on to the next. It's not jerky, however, it really flows. Each part flows into the next seamlessly. So as you practice that, see if each breath can get progressively longer. And this actually doesn't happen with effort. This happens with letting go, with relaxation. The more you can soften the torso, the more it can easily expand to fill with even more air. And the slower you let the air leave, so really empty part by part, the longer you can make that exhale. Right now, we're going with an even length for the inhale and the exhale. So same length, inhale and exhale. Couple more. Mixing your effort with your breath, taking your awareness either to your heart or the space between the eyebrows. Setting an intention for your practice. The intention works when it's stated in the present tense and positively. Things like, I am connected to my breath. I am relaxed. I am peaceful, or simply peace. It can really be anything you'd like it to be. So if you'd like, set that intention now. Nicely done. Take a deep breath. And if you're on your back, gently start to bring your knees into the chest. If you're seated upright, very mindfully bring your body down to the mat and hug those knees into the chest. So we're going as slow as we can to keep that relaxation. Stay with your breath. It is very common to have an injury when you hold your breath. So be sure that you're constantly breathing to really help with that. Hands on the knees. We're going to gently release our low back while we lubricate the hips. Inhale, we're going to open out wide. Exhale, bring the knees together, pull the belly in, and draw them into the chest. So hands stay glued to the knees. Inhaling, opening the knees out wide. Exhaling, pull the belly in and draw the knees back in. One more time, really notice what you're feeling. The slower your breath, the slower you can go and really feel what's happening in your hips. Let's inhale and slowly push those knees away, keeping your hands on them. Exhale, open them away from each other and hug them in close to the chest. Inhale, push them away. Exhale, open out wide and hug them back in. One more. Nicely done. From here, if you've got socks on, it's probably a good idea to remove those socks just so you have grip. Bring the feet back down to the mat. Check how your back is feeling here. Is it relaxed? Is it soft? On the next exhale, slowly draw the right knee into the chest. Moving with the breath, gentle hamstring stretch. We interlace the fingers around the thigh. Inhale, pushing the heel away. Exhale, drawing that knee back in. Inhale, pushing that heel away as the leg straightens. Exhale, drawing that knee back in. Inhale up. Exhale, hug the knee in. And then next inhale, go up and stay up. Hands can stay interlaced around the thigh, or you can use a strap, or you can keep them alongside the body. Try to keep those shoulders soft as you point the toes, scrunch them. As you flex the foot, draw the toes back and spread them wide. Point and spread those toes wide. Breathe, keep breathing. You could press into your left foot a little bit for balance. Take a big breath and circle your ankle. Big breath, circle the other way. Nicely done. Draw that low belly in, 2 fingers below the belly button, release the circling, and inhale to slowly lower the leg about halfway to the floor. Imagine there's a weight on your inner heel so that you don't let your toes go out to the side. Exhale, pull that low belly and squeeze everything from the pit of the abdomen up towards your head. Now you can bend your knee to make this easier. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, slowly come back up. You want to keep your low back as close to the mat as possible here and go as slow as possible. Focusing on that core area all around the belly and the side, really hugging in towards the belly button area and up towards the head. One more. Nicely done. Draw that knee in with a sigh. Hugging it in close. Feel how your pelvis is tilted back and your low back is on the mat. Now you can hang on to the shin or behind the knee. If your knee has any issues with being bent that tight, don't do it. You can keep your foot up as high as you need to. What we're going to focus on here is our pelvis staying just the way it is. So we don't want the hips to tilt forward. When you're ready, slowly start to stretch your left leg out. Only go so far as your pelvis doesn't tilt. So keep breathing. Eventually, you might get your left leg perfectly straight and on the floor. There's a weight on the inside edge of your left heel, and you're really stretching that left leg away from your body. The back of that left leg is coming towards the floor, and the stretch is more in that psoas muscle, which goes through your hip crease. It goes across your hip in the front of the left hip. Breathe. Send your breath all the way down to your hip crease and all the way down to your pelvic floor, that whole pelvic bowl area. As you do this, can you soften your face a little bit more? Can you soften the jaw a little bit more? Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Every exhale, there's a letting go. Now, very slowly with control, on your next inhale, bring your left foot back in, place it flat on the mat, and then swing your right ankle across your left thigh to come into figure four. So we want to make sure that our hips aren't getting pulled apart anymore, right? That left hip might have gone really far forward. So find those bony protrusions at the front of your hips and just make sure they're even. You might have to press into that left foot, lift your hips just a few inches, and then lower them back down. And that will usually get you set in the right place. The right hand can go to the right thigh. The toes are drawing back towards the knee, especially that pinky toe. That will help with avoiding the sickling. And then pushing out. This may be your pose. Deeper would be interlacing the fingers around the thigh or placing a block under that left foot. And if you're feeling like you need movement and it's very easy for you to have your hands interlaced around your left thigh, you are welcome to work on inhaling as you straighten that left leg, pushing the heel away, and then exhaling as you lower it down. But this is only if your right hip is so open that it's easy to hold this position. If there's straining in the shoulders or in the face, then it will be more valuable for you to stay in one of the earlier positions and send your breath to the hips, all the way to that pelvic floor. We're going to stay here for a few more breaths. So if you're moving your leg, you don't have to for the whole time. You can find a place to pause and just breathe. Check that your eyes are soft, the jawline is soft. Is the breath going all the way to the belly? Can you feel a little melting happening with every breath? Nicely done. On your next exhale, we're going to slowly draw that right knee in and place the foot flat on the floor so that the feet are hip width apart and the heels are under the knees. Now for this one, we're going to walk our right foot out about a shin's width out to the right side. Then we're going to take the whole figure four, sorry, not figure four shape, the whole bent knee shape down to the left. Let your left, so both feet are flexed, the toes are drawing back. Let your left foot ankle come onto your right thigh. Now, if you have any discomfort in that right knee, you're going to want to put a pillow under that right knee. You don't want any discomfort in the right knee. So if there is and it's just not working, then avoid this. If your knee is completely fine, there's no pain, feet are flexed, draw your right knee further away from you. So allow for some traction for that right hip. So you're gently encouraging the right knee to push away from the body. The arms can be out wide, closing the eyes, taking your breath all the way down to the belly and staying here for a few more breaths. The more we can let go here, the more benefit this will be for our body. When you feel complete here, you're going to slide that left ankle off the right knee Bring the foot back to the floor and then inhale to take the knees back up, coming back to passive rest pose. From passive rest pose, slowly stretch your legs all the way out on the mat, palms up alongside the body, lengthening the back of the neck, closing the eyes. And see if you can imagine your breath going all the way to your toes. You're breathing through the whole body. Relax the shoulders and the face a little more. And just say your intention to yourself. Drawing that low belly in, we're slowly going to take the feet back to passive rest pose. Take an inhale here and then an exhale, hugging that left knee into your chest. Gentle hamstring stretch, interlacing the fingers around the back of the left thigh. Inhaling to push that left heel up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, draw the knee back in, let the foot fall towards the buttocks. Inhale, slowly stretch the heel up. Exhale, slowly pull the belly in as you exhale. That will help with keeping that pelvis stable. Inhale, slowly stretch up. Exhale, slowly pull that belly in, draw it back in. Good. And then the next one, we're going to stay up. So keep breathing. Inhaling, slowly coming all the way up. Keeping your fingers interlaced or using a strap. Make sure your shoulders are okay. Point the toes away from you as you curl the toes. Flex the foot by spreading the toes wide and drawing them back towards your face. Do that a couple more times. Noticing what you're feeling. If one side's tighter than the other, often you can feel it in the foot even, that the foot feels tighter than the other. Everything's connected. Then take a deep breath and circle your ankle in one direction. Just the ankle. It's tempting to do the foot, but we're just moving the ankle. It's tempting to do the leg, but we're just moving that foot. Let's go the other direction. Big breath. So when you're looking at your leg is staying still and just your foot is moving to lubricate that ankle joint. That's all our joints need to stay healthy, is simple movements like this, keeping the joint lubricated. Nice. Now let's work on our core. Very important for stability and strength and resilience in life. It has a lot of value. So draw that low belly in. 2 fingers below the belly button can help you feel where that core is. Inhale to slowly lower the leg just about halfway. You can use your right foot for balance. Exhale, slowly come back up. If you're finding that there's any just pain or anything that's not right, go halfway. Bend the knee and only go a little bit less. Go only so far as you feel safe doing this. So we're really hugging all of that core area in towards that belly button and then even further up towards the head. So it's a drawing in and up that stabilizes the pelvis, gives us that strength in our core and that strength for life's challenges. Let's do one more with the breath. Good, very good, nice and slow. And then with the exhale, draw that knee into the chest with a sigh. Either fingers around the shin or behind the knee. And now keeping your low back flat on the floor, try to keep the hip just the way it is. Don't let it tilt forward. And then when you're ready, slowly you can kind of inch your right heel further and further away. Pay attention to your right hip. If it starts to come forward, if your low back starts to arch, pause, breathe. Ask it to soften. Take your time. Eventually, you might get your right leg straight, toes up. Inside of the left heel is, or right heel rather, of that straight leg heel is grounding toward the floor. That will keep your toes straight up. Now push that straight leg away from you. And as you do that, breathe all the way to the pelvic floor, all the way to the hip crease, and all the way to the base of the body. This will help with tightness in the hips. Soften the jaw and the face. Stay here for a few more breaths. When you feel complete, pull that low belly in and slowly draw that right heel back so the foot is flat on the floor. Take your left ankle across the right thigh, toes draw back to protect the knee. And then you're gonna, when you put the hands on those hip points, they might be out of alignment. Chances are they are. So you could work on getting them back or press into your right foot, lift your hips, and then slowly bring the hips back. Hopefully that'll bring the hips so that they're in one line and even. Left hand can go to that left thigh and gently open it. This may be your stretch. Maybe a block under the right foot might be your stretch. Or if you did the interlaced thigh on the last pose with the moving of that leg, you're welcome to do the same thing. It's just a little bit more of a stretch for that right leg. You inhale the heel up, exhale, lower it down. But if your body's not there today or this side isn't there, then the most value is going to be staying where you are and sending your breath to where you feel the sensation, encouraging that letting go. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. So if you're moving your leg, you may want to pause and find a place to just breathe. Softening the face, the space between the eyebrows and the jaw. Allowing the shoulders to melt. How soft and long can that breath get? On your next exhale, or when you feel complete, slowly bring that left knee into your chest. Take the foot flat on the floor for passive rest pose. Walk that left foot out to the left, shins distance. And maybe have a pillow ready to put under your left knee if you need. We don't want any discomfort. We're going to do the twist, gentle twist to the other side. So taking your knees down towards the right, that left hip does come up. Once you're here, as long as your knee has no pain or discomfort, take your right ankle across the left thigh, draw the toes back, both feet are flexed, and then push that left knee away from you to create length in the whole left side of the body and traction. You can have your arms out wide. Now, if there is discomfort in the knee, a pillow under the knee, maybe not putting that right foot on it, you have to find the right way to do it for your body. But forcing your body to do something when it's telling you it hurts doesn't really work. It just creates more problems. Breathe all the way down to where you feel the stretch. Let's stay here for a few more breaths, seeing how relaxed we can get. Both feet are flexed, so we're drawing the toes back towards each knee to protect that knee. When you feel ready, slide your right foot off that left knee and inhale to slowly come back up. Stretch the legs all the way out, wave the feet a little bit, horse lips, reach the arms up, interlace the fingers, push the palms away from you. Try to draw your low back towards the floor as you push your heels away from you and breathe here. Say your intention to yourself. And on your exhale, draw that low belly in, take the knees in, sweep the arms around, rock out the back. That's deep core work. And then slowly make your way to one side to relax completely. Close the eyes and take 3 long breaths here. Pressing into the top hands, letting your top leg move back as we inhale, slowly pushing the body up and making our way into all fours. Whew. We really opened up our hips. So let's take a moment. We spent a while on our backs. It's going to take some time for the blood to adjust to a new position. So in all fours, come into a resting pose, either a child's pose, knees can go wider, heels and hips touching, forehead to the mat. Puppy dog is also a nice alternative. Just make sure that your knees are comfortable. You can lie on the belly as well. It's not so much what it looks like, it's what it feels like in your body. Do your shoulders feel like they're crouching, creeping up towards your ears? Do they feel tight? Can you broaden them and soften them back? What does your hip feel like it's doing, your hips? Do they feel like they're tilting forward? Is there a way to soften and lengthen your lower back so that your hips can sink and relax a little more? All of this is happening on the inside. You're scanning your body and feeling all the different areas and how to make this pose work best for your body. And let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Long, relaxed breaths. Nicely done. In your own time, we're going to inhale and slowly come up to all fours. Fingers are spread wide, wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. You can also put that blanket under the heel of the hands to help with any wrist pain or gorilla fists, fingers pointing in on your knuckles. Cat cow. Inhale to gently arch, drawing the shoulders back, lifting the heart. Exhale, tucking that tailbone and gently rounding. Inhale, gently arching the back, maybe tucking the toes. Exhale, pointing the toes and gently rounding. Two more. You're going with your breath, never movement without the breath. In and out through the nose, as slow and smooth as possible. And the more we practice it, the easier it gets. Coming to neutral, draw that low belly in. Knees can come a little bit closer together for balance. Keep your low belly firmly engaged and drawing towards the top of your head. So it's as if the space below the belly button is pulling towards the spine, and then the energy is moving all the way up the spine. On your inhale, stretch your right arm straight out. Palm can be down. Good. Now, if you're comfortable here, try reaching your left leg straight out, pushing that heel away. Opposite leg. Breathe for 3. Low belly strong. 2, straight out from the hip. 1, nice. Lower your left knee down. Lower your right hand down. When you're ready, take a breath. Let that go. Shoulders stay broad. Inhale the left arm straight out. Remember, for low back stuff, sometimes in front of us doesn't work. Out to the side is better. So listen to your body. And then maybe inhaling, taking your right leg straight back. There is so much hugging in here with the core for stabilizing the pelvis. It's a lot of work, but the work happens because we're asking it to happen. It doesn't happen automatically. Really draw in for 3, 2, push that right heel away, 1, and then strong, strong core. Exhaling as you lower the right knee down and then the left hand down. Nice. Slowly coming all the way to the belly. Sighing, stacking the hands under the forehead, waving those feet in the air. Bringing the feet back down so that they're pointing straight back. Pinkies are on the mat as well, pinky toes. Hands are going to come so they're just under the shoulders. Fingertips are under the shoulders. The hands are more in line with your chest. Forehead comes to the mat, so we're in cobra. Keep your tops of your toes glued to the mat. And on the inhale, grip a little with the fingers as if you're pulling the floor back, and lift up the head and the shoulders and lengthen. Exhale and slowly lower down. So this is a low cobra. Let's do that 2 more times. The inhale is happening, top of our head is moving towards the front of the room and then gently lifts up. Our fingers are drawing back gently, but they're not moving. They're just isometrically pulling back. Exhale, lower down, forehead to the mat. 1 more time. Inhale, slowly coming up and then breathing here. So there's length in the low back. This is a very low cobra. You're not that far off the mat. We're working on lifting the heart with our back muscles. That's it. And strengthening both sides of the spine. 1 more breath. Good. Exhale and slowly lower down. Bring your chin to the mat if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, lips is fine. Bring the hands alongside the body, palms down. And then very slowly, inhale, lift your right leg, locust leg lifts. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower it down. Keep going side to side. So there's a few ways to do this. I like to do it with the hips down so that you really feel that compression of the buttocks and the low back and your hips stay in alignment. Some people like to lift their entire leg, including the hip off. It's really your body and your preference. This is an excellent way to help with strengthening the low back and helping to massage those kidneys and adrenals, helping with stress. So we're moving always with the breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. We're going to do one more round. Nice job. Relax. Turn your head to one side, wiggle a little bit. Let that go. And then we're going to put everything together while we stabilize our hips a little bit more. It's going to be a lot of work, so keep your breath moving. Never move without the breath. This will keep you safe. Bringing the forehead to the mat, the arms stay alongside the body. The feet are hip width apart. Your next inhale, lift everything. You're lengthening your back, lifting the legs, the arms, and keeping the back of the neck long. Exhale, slowly lower down, turn your head the other direction as you take your feet as wide as the mat. Use your breath. Inhale starts, and then you come up, the remainder coming all the way up, really lifting the heart, really lifting the legs. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Turn your head the other direction and bring your feet together. Inhale, looking down and up, coming into locust again with the feet together, which is definitely a lower locust. Feel those muscles working in your back. Exhale, slowly lower down. Turn your head the other way. Bring your feet hip width apart again, and then we're going to work on staying here for 3 breaths, if that's going to work for us today. Next, inhale, slowly coming up and staying here. So breathe. Every inhale, maybe the shoulders get a little broader, the back of the neck a little longer, maybe the legs go a little higher. Good. One more breath. And then when you're complete here, lower down slowly, stack the hands under the forehead, sigh, and then come into your belly breath. So your forehead is resting on the backs of the hands. Your belly is on the floor. And you're lengthening the breath, encouraging that letting go. Remember your intention and say it to yourself. Nicely done. Bring your hands in a comfortable place to push up. Tuck the toes. Draw that low belly in on the exhale and really push up nice and slow. Slowly sink back into a resting pose, a child's pose, a puppy dog pose. Let your back get long. It's a counter pose to those back bends, is this gentle forward fold. Nice. That's it. I can see you feeling into it. That's part of your practice. making it your own. Feel what's happening in your body. One more breath. Good. On your next inhale, slowly coming up to all fours, make sure you have a blanket under your knees. As we exhale, we're going to step the right foot to the inside of the right hand. This is quite challenging. So if you have a chair that you can use to put your hand on or a block, something to help. And as always, if your body says no, thank you, then just skip it. Don't do it. So we're allowing their back hip to get a stretch here. So walk your hands up to that front thigh. The front knee is right over the front ankle, and there's length in the low back. On the exhale, gently shift the hips forward in one line. If you're not feeling that stretch, come back, tuck your back toes, and move your knee back a hair. Point your toes again to take some pressure off the knee. You can press into your left foot, the top of the foot, and sink a little bit more. Good. Take one more breath here. We're breathing into the front of that left thigh to get that stretch. Need lots of cushions if our knees are saying no, thank you. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly take our hands down, tuck the back toes, and then inhale to straighten the back leg coming into a lunge. Exhale, straighten the front leg coming into pyramid pose. Your back heel comes towards the mat. Now, if your back doesn't want to be in a forward fold, walk your hands up your leg or use a wall and breathe here. That's it. Keep breathing. Good. Notice where you're feeling this in your body. Beautiful. Next exhale, we're going to slowly bend the front knee, lower that back knee down, and step the right foot back to the left. Coming into a child's pose or head to the mat. Take your hands to the low back, moving with the breath. Inhale, palms up, reach up. Exhale, palms down. Come the other way, backs of the hands, maybe the forehead to the mat, maybe the hips to the heels. Neither one is necessary. Inhale, palms up, reach up, palms face each other. Our back is straight, our upper back is straight. Exhale, palms down. Let the hands rest on the low back. One more. With the breath, fully with the breath. Exhale, slowly coming down. Nicely done. Inhale and slowly come to all fours. Take a breath here. Exhale, step your left foot to the inside of your left hand. Find your alignment so the front knee is over your ankle. If this is not accessible for you today, that's fine. Any pose is fine to do instead. Passive rest pose, child's pose. Tuck your back toes, maybe move your back knee back a hair, and then when you're ready, bring your hands up to your thigh. Letting your tailbone gently drop towards the floor and moving your whole pelvis forward to feel that stretch for the front of the back thigh. Breathe. This is another really good stretch for helping with flexibility in our pelvis, these muscles that get tight when we're sitting and can pull our back out of alignment. One more breath. Breathe, stay with your experience. Now, as you exhale, take your hands down, tuck the back toes. Inhale, straighten the back leg. And then when you're ready, exhale, straighten the front leg. You might immediately want to walk your hands up the front leg so that you're more upright. Your back heel is coming towards the back of the room, and the front knee can be bent slightly. Notice where you're feeling this in your body, pyramid pose. So soften what you can, the shoulders, the jaw. Make this pose work for you. If this isn't your pose today, then do something that is. 2 more breaths, even longer. Next, inhale, bend that front knee. Exhale, lower that knee down. Step the left foot back to the right and sink into a resting pose for 3 breaths. In your own time, inhaling up to all fours. Keep the shoulders broad and away from the ears. Pull that belly in more than you think. Tuck your toes. And on the exhale breath, slowly come into a bent knee downward dog. So the hips go as high as you can take them, as if you're trying to sit on the ceiling while the knees stay bent. Watch for those shoulders getting really tight. So hollow out those armpits and pull the biceps behind you without losing the weight at the base of your thumb and the base of your index finger. So they're kind of going in 2 directions. As you hug those armpits in, the inside of the hand tries to come off the mat, but keep it there to protect the shoulder. Bend one knee, then the other with a sigh. Shake out the head. Maybe start to straighten your legs, but only if that doesn't send your body forward. If it sends your body forward, then keep your knees bent. And in your own time, you can walk your hands back to your feet and come into a forward fold or a bent knee forward fold with the hands at heart center and the elbows resting on the thighs to keep your back straight. Otherwise, a full forward fold might feel very lovely. Lengthening your back, bringing the weight towards the balls of the feet, maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Pull the belly in a little bit more. Horse lips. Let that go. Enjoy the forward fold that's right for your body today. And then when you're ready on your next inhale, slowly bending the knees deeper, sweeping the arms up, coming all the way up. Exhaling, palms down. Nicely done. Finding your Tadasana, softening those knees, pulling that low belly in. While we soften the buttocks, so the belly comes in and up, but we don't clench the buttocks. The shoulders are soft. The palate is drawing back. Close the eyes. See if you can become aware of your entire body, from your feet, up your legs, your torso, your arms, your neck and head, the entire body at once. Now find your breath and deepen it. Next, exhale, gently draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, gently lift up, maybe just a little or maybe all the way, depends on your neck. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the chin. One more. Exhale, come to neutral this time. Take a big inhale. Exhale, turn towards the right. Try to keep your shoulders right where they are. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale back to center. One more time each side. This simple movement is how we keep mobility as we age. Nicely done. Release that and walk your feet a little bit wider. Soften the knees and start to slowly circle your shoulders. Inhaling as you draw them back, exhaling as you draw them forward. Big breath. Go the other direction when you're ready. Wonderful way to release tension in the upper back. Nicely done. In our own time, let's bring our feet back so that they're hip width apart. Bring the palate back, draw that low belly in, and then when you're ready, inhale the right palm up, exhale over towards your left. Breathe here, lift the heart, soften that right shoulder, pull that low belly in. One more breath, inhale, lifting the heart, exhale, reaching a little deeper. And then inhaling, coming up, switching the arms, and exhaling, coming over towards the left. Watching that shoulder, pulling that low belly in more than you think. If the shoulder doesn't like this, you know how to modify, maybe hand on the shoulder, maybe even hand on the hip. We inhale, we lift the heart. We exhale, we reach a little bit further. The pinky's in like we're scooping ice cream. Inhaling up, exhaling, palm down. Nicely done. Whew. Little bit of wiggle, twisting, horse lips, ha sound, ha, 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 ha. And slowly coming out of that as we reach for our pelvis and give our hips a gentle circle with the knees bent. Long breath. Good. Going the other way. Beautiful. Slowly making your way back together, feet hip width apart rather. Releasing the arms alongside the body. Find your breath. Coming into chair pose with opening for the upper back. So chair pose is very strengthening for our legs and helps with balance, while the arm movements are going to be quite opening for our chest to help with shoulders and neck. So inhale as we reach the arms up, exhale as we sink the hips back. So the arms might be forward more than up. Do your best. Inhaling here, exhaling like you're pulling a bar down, open the elbows wide and arch the upper back. Inhale, reach forward again, looking down. Exhale. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, push open. That's it. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, it's like forward and up. Good. So we're staying in chair. Draw that low belly in. One more really strong exhale. Good. Inhale, reach all the way up and exhale to release. Interlacing your fingers behind your back, taking your stance a little wider. Let your knuckles draw down towards the floor. Draw the chin to the chest. And inhale, gently rocking up to one shoulder, only taking the head back if you don't have neck injuries. Exhale down the other way, or just go side to side, up to one collarbone, then back down. Or do a full circle the other way. Nicely done. Coming to neutral, releasing the hands. Getting ready for tree pose. So if you have a wall, you can always lean on that. Have it stand about 3 inches in front of your wall, just to have it there. Close the eyes for a moment. Feel your body from the feet up to the head. Find the breath. And then blinking the eyes open, finding a point to focus on in front of you. Pour the weight onto your right foot. So lift your left heel and squeeze that right hip in, that glute med. Make sure your right leg is solid. From there, you can put the ankle, the heel above the ankle, the foot on the calf, or the foot to the thigh with the left knee opened out. So find your point. Hands can go to heart center, and you're really working on a strong standing leg. This will stabilize your hips. Good. Keep breathing. You can keep that left toe down. Maybe reach up, maybe open up. One more breath. Nice. Yay. Reaching the arms up is very victorious pose. Slowly taking your hands down. You don't have to have won anything to feel like you won it if you reach your arms up. It's pretty cool how the body and mind are so connected. So relax that right leg, shake it out. And then standing again into Tadasana, draw that low belly in, close the eyes, feel your breath. And then putting your weight on your left foot as you lift the right heel. Bring the right heel to the left ankle and keep it there or keep moving. Make sure you're really hugging in with that left hip. Any point is fine. Just try not to put pressure on your knee. Maybe hands to heart center. Really hug in with those hips. Low belly lifts up, pelvic floor lifts up, maybe reaching up and opening out wide. Smiling a little, if it's possible. And then when you're ready, coming out, however you get there, you could timber over or you can come out slowly. Shake out that left leg. Well done. Stand at the top of the mat. One hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. Feel the breath. Say your intention to yourself. Blinking the eyes open, hands to the low back, bending the knees. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half forward fold, flattening that back. Exhale, hands to the mat, walking your feet back into your downward dog or getting to all fours however you get there, right? You don't have to do downward dog. You can get down to the mat in the way that works for your body. If you're feeling super strong today, inhale into your plank, shoulders over the wrists, heels towards the back of the room. Draw that low belly in more than you think. Press into the space between your shoulder blades for 3, 2, and then 1, lowering down to the knees and slowly sinking back into your resting pose. Be sure to grab for that blanket for your knees. And then after all that muscle work, all that strengthening, slow down your breathing. On your next inhale, slowly coming up to all fours. And slowly bringing your legs around to come to seated. If you have a blanket to sit on, that's fine. Something to lift you up a little. If you feel like you're falling back, you just need to get higher and higher and higher. We're going to take our legs out with the knees bent and the hands behind the knees. So we're going to attempt a safe forward fold for our back. But if your back, is just not okay, then just listen to your body. So hands stay behind the knees. Our pelvis is tilting forward. There's a gentle arch in that low back. Arch means it's going in towards the knees. It's not rounding out and pushing away from the body, right? Inhaling here and then exhaling, slowly coming forward into your forward fold. But we're going to move with the breath. So inhale, slowly lift up again. Exhale, slowly fold again. You can reach with the hands if you want, or keep them on the thighs. Inhale, slowly come up. Lift the heart, lengthening your spine. Exhale, slowly lengthen forward as you fold. So if you're feeling safe, you can slowly let your legs go a little straighter. Inhale, lift the heart and bring your toes up. Heels, exhale, slowly fold. Inhale, hands can stay on those thighs. Lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Come to a place that's comfortable for you. So most of us want our backs to be perfectly straight because if they round, that can create some back problems. But a few of us do not have any back problems, and it might feel good to round your upper back. So see where you are, and if you want to round your back, you can round the upper back by letting your head go towards your knees and letting the shoulders round. Protect your back even more by drawing your low belly in. If you're not in a place for forward folds, you can still tilt your pelvis forward. So work on that feeling of your belly button coming towards your feet. 3 more breaths here. That's it, exactly. Inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet flat on the mat. Take the hands behind you and lift the heart. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other and breathe into the upper chest. Inhaling, coming up to neutral, bringing the soles of the feet together. The feet are about a foot away from your groin. They don't have to be close. Now, if your body is telling you you need a rest, you're welcome to do this lying down because we're going to get there anyway. So you can make the call if you would like to do this reclined or do butterfly in a forward fold. The arms go in front of the legs, the heart lifts. Stay here for a moment, lifting the heart, letting your knees soften. Any sharp pains, make sure you prop pillows under your knees or avoid the pose. We don't want pain. If you would like to fold, just like we did previously, we're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. And then with a lengthened spine, we're going to exhale and fold forward. So your hands can come forward. And then we keep moving with our breath. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, folding, maybe coming all the way back up. Listen to your body. Make this your practice. Only rounding the upper back if that's safe for you. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, slowly coming back up, helping your knees come together. Pushing off the cushion and slowly rolling all the way down into passive rest pose. If you have a blanket for your head, that's fine. You can leave it there, something low. Close the eyes, rest your hands on your belly. Make sure your breath is flowing all the way to the belly. And remember your intention. Making your way onto your left side. Knees are stacked. Left arm is reaching out and the right palm rests in it. Now, if you know your shoulders are tight, you might want to set up a pillow behind your right shoulder right now so that it's there for you. We're going to do the clamshell 3 times, and on the 4th time, we're going to keep it open. So as we inhale, we reach the right fingertips past the left and open all the way up. Exhale and slowly close. Inhale, reach forward and open all the way up, following the hand with the eyes. Exhale and close. Keep going. And then the last one, we're going to stay open. So this becomes a twist more for the upper back and the shoulder. And the low back is very safe here because your hips are stacked. That top knee isn't sliding back. And that's why the pillow under the right shoulder can be so helpful. It makes this more accessible. You can rest your left hand on top of your right thigh to help keep those knees together. And then keep your breath moving through the body. The head can be any way that's comfortable. Asking that right shoulder to soften and feeling how the breath moves through the twists in the body. Asking the body to let go. Couple more breaths. When you're ready, take a big inhale And on your exhale, slowly bring the right hand back to the left. Take a moment. Sigh. Come onto your back and then come onto your right side. Letting your right arm reach out straight from the shoulder. Knees are together, left palm rests in the right. Inhale to reach forward and open all the way up. Be sure to have that pillow or something nearby for your shoulder. Exhale, slowly close that clamshell. 3 more, the last one, we're gonna stay open. Inhale, open up. You can follow the hand with your eyes. Exhale, close. Last one, support under that left shoulder. Right hand can rest on the knees to keep the knees together, which will make sure that our low back stays neutral and the twist happens in the mid and upper back. You can always come into passive rest pose if it's just not working. It's such a great pose. The more that you do that pose, the more it helps the tightness in the hips. Let's stay here for a few more breaths. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, bring your hands back together. Coming onto the back, passive rest pose, removing the pillow, stabilizing the sacrum by keeping the heels under the knees, feet hip width apart, pressing into the feet evenly, inhaling, tucking the tailbone, lifting up the hips and arms. Exhaling, slowly lowering down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Last thing to touch is the tailbone. Again, with the feet wider, toes can be out slightly. Tuck the tailbone, inhaling first, and then lifting up vertebrae by vertebrae as the arms reach up and behind you, maybe. Exhaling slowly from the top of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Hands and hips touch the same time. Feet all the way together, big toes touching. Inhaling, tucking the tailbone, lifting up. Exhaling, lowering down. Feet hip width apart, arms can stay down for this one. Inhale, slowly lifting vertebrae by vertebrae. You can draw your shoulders towards each other, just not towards the heels, towards each other, and lift up, maybe even interlacing your hands underneath you, pressing into the elbows, pressing into the feet evenly, chin towards the chest. Try to soften your buttocks. If the buttocks gets too tight, it can pull on that lower back. Good. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Use your breath, and on the exhale, slowly lower down from the top of the spine first, all the way down. Bringing the knees into the chest, hands onto those kneecaps. Inhale to straighten the arms. Exhale, pull that belly in and flatten the back. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, pull the belly in Apanasana, flatten the back. You can grab anywhere that works for you. It doesn't have to be the knees, it could be behind them, the shins. The action is more that real pulling in and flattening of the lower back. Everything else stays pretty relaxed. And then from here, slowly making your way into Shavasana. Or if you need to do a supported shoulder stand, put that block under your hips and throw one in there. Taking a few minutes to get as comfortable as possible. So socks, bathroom breaks. Leg warmers, blankets, eye pillows. Making sure that we're as comfortable as possible. And then once we're there, finding the breath. The first half of Shavasana is going to be a visualization exercise with the Savitri breath. If it's not right for you, then simply let yourself completely go and don't worry about doing the breath or the visualization. The Savitri breath is an 8-count inhale, a 4-count hold, an 8-count exhale, and a 4-count holding the breath out. It's all relaxed and it's all through the nose. If the 8-4 ratio is too difficult, you can try 6-3, 6-3, or even 4-2, 4-2. Now imagine that your body is hollow, like a hollow pipe, and all the muck from your subconscious, all the muck and dirt is bubbling up into this pipe. Water is coming through and starting to wash it away, but the muck is continuing to come up. Keeping that visualization going of the dirt or anything that you can think of that can help you clear out thoughts, stored emotion by visualizing this muck coming into this pipe and getting washed away. With that visualization, coming into the Savitri breath, exhaling fully. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold out. 2, 3. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold in. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 6, 7, 8. Hold out. Inhale. Hold in. Exhale. Hold out. Inhale. Hold in. Exhale. Hold out. Inhale. Hold in. Exhale. Hold out. Keep going. Release your effort with the breath, allowing your hollow tube to get filled with more and more clear spring water as it washes away all the muck. As you relax the breath completely, feel that your hollow channel is completely clean with crystal clear spring water. Bringing your awareness back, feeling the body, deepening your breath all the way to the toes. Slowly waking up the body in your own time. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Maybe drawing the knees in, rocking out your back. Laying on the side for a few moments. Before bringing yourself up to a comfortable meditative posture. Closing the eyes and just feeling the breath in your body. Leaving the hands where they are, bringing them to heart center, taking a moment for gratitude by just saying in your mind things that you appreciate about your life. Coming into the vibration of Om 3 times, exhaling, inhaling. Om.